Alright guys, so I was working on a new video for Echoes of Wisdom and now I'm actually gonna have to rewrite it. So this is pretty freaking crazy what's going on right now. So as we see here, I'm gonna react to the new Echoes of Wisdom trailer. This is probably the final trailer, at least I believe it is. And then we're gonna probably give a quick analysis right after that, okay? And one thing I noticed right off the bat is actually Super Mario Party here is also getting a new update as well. Pauline is actually joining, so it makes me wonder if new characters are gonna be joining Super Mario Party Jamboree. But anyway, forget about all that. This is about The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. We are reacting to the third trailer. Let's begin. All right, guys, let's react to this. Okay. The world is messed up, as we know. Okay, so we saw that. That was from the, I think it was like one of the Japanese website stuff kind of had this clip where the king kind of tosses Zelda. It's a very good scene though, very monumental actually, you know. So it's pretty cool to see the king
the land of Hyrule
have like his own,
apart
you know,
by
like
mysterious rifts.
Love. I don't know. I mean, obviously he loves his daughter, but it's good to see a good
both
king.
Of whom were
you guys know what I mean.
Princess Zelda must borrow the power of an ethereal creature called Tri.
Okay.
Together, they enter the tears that scar the land in order to save her kingdom. On her journey, Zelda will explore what lies within the rifts.
That's a sick picture. Wow. I love that picture, dude.
This is the still world.
Why do I
hear trees,
I feel like Skyward
fragments of
Sword,
land,
Twilight
people,
Princess vibes.
and other items that were swallowed
Mostly
up by
Skyward
the rifts
Sword.
float in the void. It's said they will eventually vanish completely. Exploring the farthest reaches
what
of
is
this
gonna happen to
world
Link
is
then?
no easy feat.
If
To
Link's
do so,
in here,
Zelda will have to traverse.
will Link
eerie,
vanish permanently? I
floating
went over
terrain.
this in one of my theories.
Because the path is broken up, the echoes you've learned can come in handy.
By the way, I'll link to
Forge
my
your
theories
own way forward
all around
by
here.
creating echoes to use as platforms to bridge the gaps.
Okay, we knew this.
Massive dungeons can also be found deep within the still world.
Oh, dude. Dungeons.
Zelda will use her
Let's
wisdom
freaking
and
go.
echoes to take on enemies.
Let's
and puzzles
freaking
that
go,
stand
dude.
In her way.
Dungeons. Man, that makes
Then
my heart
confront
sing.
challenging bosses who await her arrival.
Okay. Okay,
What
so
to
this
do
guy
though?
was from the first trailer.
Overwhelm the boss with
This
echoes?
is kind of like low-key
Or combine them to find unique ways around
spoilers.
the
Yeah, this
situation.
is kind of like that one
Strategy is
trailer where
yours
it's
to
like
devise.
they're kind of telling us more than what we need to know. I think after the last
The
trailer, I
still
don't really
world
think
can
we
be
needed any more
accessed
trailers.
through
But then
rifts
again,
scattered across
marketing
Hyrule.
is
And
more
each
important
entry point leads to
than
a
how much we
location
know about
with
a
its
game.
own
So
defining features.
whatever.
On her adventure, Zelda must overcome dungeons within the rifts.
Okay,
and the
that's really cool.
mysteries they hold.
Yeah, dude, this is like a lot
Without
of
Link
Twilight
or the
Princess
king,
vibes.
Hyrule's fate
Dark
rests
Redeads.
squarely in Zelda's hands.
Okay, that's a first. Dark Redeads. Okay, you see, I don't like this. Oh, what
When
even
Zelda
is this?
finds and picks up
Okay,
a
the sword
mysterious
officially looks
sword,
like that.
She takes on the sword fighter form, allowing
so is
her
this
to
like a full
attack
sword thing?
directly. With its mighty power, she can forge ahead when her path is blocked.
Okay, so you have to use it for
Strike
solving
down enemies
puzzle
on her own.
situations?
Or
Oh, I don't like
battle
using it in
alongside
the
echoes.
overworld. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of all the
However,
echoes.
she can only stay in sword
Oh,
fighter
there's a level
form
1.
for a
Okay, so you
short
can
period
upgrade
of
this.
time.
Okay, so you can actually
When or
upgrade
where
the
you
sword
choose to wield this
abilities to
power
fight.
is up to you.
Oh, and then you could just freaking Breath of the Wild it. You could just throw something and then just jump
The
down and
sword's
start beating
gauge can
everyone
be
up.
replenished by collecting
Okay.
energy found in the still world.
Okay, so it's only
be
in the
sure
still
to
world.
grab any you find.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, maybe this is a little bit more fair because I was about to say I thought she just has the sword and then she could just always use it, which defeats the purpose
This is
of Echoes.
Dampe, an engineer who crafts
Dungeon
clockwork
maker?
gizmos in Hyrule. His extravagant creations are called automatons, and they can be activated by winding them up.
Dang, this is the most
They can
useful
unleash
Dampe
powerful
has ever
effects
been.
that differentiate them from echoes.
To a game
Be
story,
careful.
that is.
They'll break apart if they take too much damage.
I do want to see Dompe in a more creepy Zelda game, though, even
You'll
if he just
meet
has a
many
small
other
role.
quirky characters during your travels.
Tingle? Oh,
and
no,
there's
no
no
Tingle.
doubt they'll be of great
Ooh,
help to the
Gerudo.
princess.
That looks like freaking, like, Riju and Urbosa, but it's clearly not them. Fairies look cool. Nice. I don't... This sword thing, it's okay, but I also I'm kind of like on the fence because I don't want the purpose. Well, I guess when you have to get around, you have to use echoes.
On a journey
But I
to
thought the whole
traverse
point
and
was to
save
use
Hyrule,
echoes for everything,
Princess
even
Zelda's
fighting.
wisdom is key to undertaking this adventure.
Volvagia, whatever, however you pronounce
Legend
it.
of Zelda,
Okay, so now my
Echoes of
theory
Wisdom.
of
Available September
both of my
26th
theories of
only
Echoes of
on the
Wisdom in the
Nintendo
adult
Switch
timeline and
system.
Echoes of Wisdom in a new
Pre-orders
downfall
are available
timeline.
now on
There's
Nintendo
even
eShop.
more connections to Ocarina of Time, which actually strengthens both of my theories, guys. What the? Oh. Link's bad. Okay. Will the theory actually come true where we have to defeat Link? Can Link actually die or something else? I had a theory where something bad could happen to him, right? Where like maybe like he, once we redeem him, he like exits the still world. The Dark Rift world is now called the still world. He exits that and he ends up in a new dimension or a new timeline or timeline split or whatever, and it leads into the Wind Waker. That was one theory I had. But it could also just be none of that, and we could just not have Link, because it's very interesting, because that's the legit Link, and he's not stone. Like all the other normal NPC, like villager characters, they turn into stone when they enter the still world. Link literally went into the still world, and now he turned to evil, which means he is like possessed or something has taken over him. I think that might be a series first. I don't know. The fact that his eyes are red kind of makes me think of Gloom. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Man, okay, there's a lot. I don't really think there's like any super big revelations in this trailer. But I do kind of want to rewind to go over stuff. So, sorry guys, I almost burped there. Alright, so now, bam. If you're at this point in the video, you might have skipped to the timestamp where we're going to do the analysis. So now, let's go over the analysis for this. And this is going to be a live analysis. I didn't really take notes like how I did for the last video. I'm doing this one completely live. So let's start kind of here. I'm going to decrease the sound a little bit just so that like it's not annoying. So not really any points of interest here. We've kind of seen all this stuff. Yeah, we've seen all of this. Nothing too new here. Okay, I want to observe this art. So let's take a look at this art first. Okay, so we know this is called the Still World. There's a Lionel. Oh, what the? Dude, there's a freaking Lionel right there. Do you guys believe this? Look at this. Okay, I hope you guys can see my mouse. I don't know if you guys can. There is a Lionel right here. Can I like write on this? Here, let me see if I could. Let me see something. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm using this to point. But dude, look at this. This is a Lionel, guys. Do you guys freaking see that? There are Lionels in this game. Look, he has the same sword of how it looks from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. There's literally a Lionel right freaking there, guys. This is freaking amazing. Okay, I am now blown away. And the chances of this, because there was a theory that Lionels come from the Downfall timeline. So now this game being in the Downfall timeline, that theory has been strengthened a little bit, which still points to my new Downfall timeline theory once again. If that hasn't been linked already, it's going to be linked in the top right corner. I really recommend you guys watch that theory. But this is freaking crazy right now because we have a freaking Lionel here. Okay, I'm going to put this thing like right, you know what? I'm just going to hide it. There we go. Okay, so that's very interesting. Hyrule Castle is also completely... Okay, this is something interesting. I don't know if this is going to happen at some point in the game, but we could see like... after above the word "the," we see Hyrule Castle completely in the still world. So we only saw a little bit of the rifts, like in the normal light world. We only saw a little bit of the rifts take over the castle. So I guess at some point in the game, the entire castle is going to be swallowed. So that's very interesting, guys. What else we got here? Obviously, we see a person right here. It looks kind of creepy. Here, I'm gonna kind of point to it. Well, it's kind of like right above the play symbol, like right over here, you know. That's kind of what's going on. So yeah, that's kind of interesting as well. Let's keep on going. I don't want to bore you guys. Let's go over any big significant stuff that we see. Okay, so nothing too big here.
Here, trees, fragments.
Okay, so there's a person there frozen in time.
People,
little dark bubbles. When people get pulled into the rifts, they kind of petrify and can't move anymore.
It's said they will eventually vanish.
Okay. Will they stay that way? They will eventually fade. Okay, so clearly this did not apply to Link, which makes this very interesting. I actually heavily believe now that Ganon did not die. Because how did Link not get turned into stone? Or let's say that the Triforce of Courage helped him, right? I saw this on a theory from like other videos. So you guys remember when Link entered the Twilight Realm in Twilight Princess? He had like the Triforce symbol on his hand, which kind of like prevented him from like turning into like a spirit in the Twilight Realm, but instead it turned him into a wolf when he came in contact with one of the Twilight like enemies. So this is very interesting how Link is not affected by this, but we know Link turns bad somewhat. So we got to keep on going here. This is very interesting. All right, so where are we? Okay, so we're here. Okay, so this is more of the... Let's see. I don't really think there's anything else here.
Zelda will have to traverse eerie floating terrain.
Okay, that's a really cool concept, how something can be floating sideways and then you can use it to climb. Okay, ladder is really cool. That means there's like certain caves and stuff that's hidden in this still world. That's very cool.
The echoes you've learned can come in handy.
Okay.
By
Pretty generic stuff here. I don't think I saw any new echoes.
Massive dungeons can also
Okay.
be.
I'm very interested in why... Okay, Sethorn Ruins. I think there was something called Sethorn on the map in the second trailer that came out like a few weeks ago. The one that has like the thumbnail with Zelda riding on the horse. But clearly we could see from here that they put a lot of attention in when you enter a dungeon, and the narrator is saying large dungeons. So I think this will be more akin to Link's Awakening and the classic dungeons of 2D Zelda games more over than anything Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom has done, which, dude, I am so freaking happy about. I'm so thankful for that. So let's keep on going here. Let's still see what we got.
Deep within this.
It was also really cool how they did that interesting writing for the dungeon intro, but I can't really analyze that yet. I don't know if that's a font I haven't seen before, or like it's obviously not Twilight Princess hieroglyphics or anything like that. Okay, so we know all of this from the first trailer, even. This is where I kind of feel like they didn't need to show us this. But it's okay. It's cool. We're cool. I mean, you got to market the crap out of this game. I mean, it was literally announced in June, and it releases in September, and this is considered a big freaking release for Nintendo. It's one of their top IPs. Oh, they vary with each rift. Oh, you can freeze the lava, and you can probably climb on it. Or you can harden it. Either freeze or harden the lava. That reminds me of Twilight Princess. Okay, we're kind of going a little bit too fast here. I want to go back to this water. Yeah, let's go back to the water.
The still world can be accessed.
Okay, so that is like, yeah, so it's like certain platforming things. Okay, so that's really cool because now it's like 2D swimming instead of like swimming normally because they altered it. So the water stays in place. That's actually a very, very cool concept. It's like Mario Galaxy, actually. It's like swimming in Mario Galaxy. That's actually freaking... And Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite Mario games. So this is awesome, guys. This is like unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Okay, let's see.
On her adventure.
So, okay. So you can use bind. So you couldn't use Ultra Hand underwater in Tears of the Kingdom. So let's just rewind because I just want to rub this in Tears of the Kingdom's face. Here, come on.
Each entry point leads to a location.
Okay, come on, give it to me.
Defining features.
Okay, block it. Okay. So in Tears of the Kingdom, number one, you can't even go underwater. In this game, you can go underwater and you could use the Ultra Hand ability. I mean, in this game, it's called Bind, but, you know, I digress. Whatever. I love this game so much more. I think I'm going to like this game more. That's a cool puzzle. That's a cool platform. Definitely reminds me of Twilight Princess. The Dark Redeads is a really cool concept. I really like that a lot. What did Zelda use to throw at them? Was that a Gale Boomerang? Come on. Okay. I want to see this. I can't tell if it's a Gale Boomerang. It's like some sort of enemy. Okay, so you could use the fish, bring it out of water, and he's just gonna hop around like Magikarp, and you could just pick him up and freaking use him to light the way. That's really cool. You could use keys to fly over gaps. That reminds me of a water temple dungeon, like from Skyward Sword, the Ancient Cistern. Okay, so this is, guys, I'm not fully on board with this, just because I feel like the one thing that I did not like about Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm gonna go over this in my very large Tears of the Kingdom video, review video, where I actually review the game and I won't hold back, so stay tuned for that, by the way. Subscribe if you haven't already. But one thing I didn't like about Tears of the Kingdom was that we had all the abilities at the very beginning of the game. And you also had the paraglider early in the game. And look, I know Breath of the Wild kind of did that too, and I understand that it's important to have Ascend, Fuse, Ultra Hand, and whatever, and you actually did have to Fuse, Ultra Hand, Recall, yeah, I said all of them. And you actually did have to get auto build in the depths, so that was cool. But in this game, I feel like the whole point is to use a new concept completely, because Ultra Hand is kind of like a better version of Magnesis, Recall is a better version of Stasis, you know, things like that, right? Well, I mean, it's different from Stasis, but essentially it's like the same scheme. But this game has like its grand new like gimmick concept is now kind of like at, not necessarily that it's at jeopardy, but it's just kind of, I don't know. I just feel like the fact that Zelda could use a sword kind of lessens it. But anyway, that's more opinions than analysis. So let's stay focused on the analysis. So a mysterious sword. So it's unnamed. So that's very flippin' interesting. So it does still kind of reminisce that of the Locomo sword, but it's still technically not the Locomo sword. But it also kind of has like it's like part Locomo sword and part Phantom sword, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if this takes place in New Hyrule, which is that's like a mini theory I had. Like, it wasn't big enough for me to make a video on. To attack directly. Okay, so Zelda turns in. Okay, so there's these little symbols that are kind of like Zonai swirls that are coming out of Zelda. And so Zelda is now wearing Link's tunic, weirdly enough. Okay, I like using it to get through certain places, but using it in the main overworld to attack, I mean, I guess if you're overwhelmed by enemies, but that must mean that the game should be more difficult then. Okay, I just hope I could do hero mode from the beginning. I'm okay with the sword if I could do hero mode from the beginning, but I just don't want this game to have like so many things where it just can become too easy if you're smart enough to use all of it. I don't know. Like I said, I keep falling back into opinions, but it is fair though, and it is cool that you can kind of level up the sword. So it might last for a very short time at the beginning of the game. An engineer who crafts clockwork gizmos and okay, you know what? That would actually be very fair. Let me say this. That would actually be very fair if to charge the sword ability, you actually have to go back into the still world and revisit some places, maybe beat some enemies again, and find some of those little blue light spirit pieces to kind of build up the power of the sword again, to use it back in the overworld against a boss or something. I think that's more fair, because the sword is so OP that I feel like it should be used for like an emergency situation, kind of like drinking a potion, like in Zelda games, right? Like, think of like Skyward Sword or like Ocarina of Time. Like, you drink a potion and it helps you in that fight, right? Against a certain boss. Like, if you're low on hearts, you're like, okay, I'm gonna drink this potion, now I'm full health, let's go. I feel like if they kind of approach it with that kind of like concept in mind, where it's like, okay, you can only use this one time, make sure you're very confident on when you need to pull out the sword and use it to fight. I feel like then if you use it in a situation like that, it makes it a lot more worth it, and it still like adds a lot of incentive to like finding all the echoes and using echoes to defeat enemies and solve puzzles. Anyway, let's keep on going here.
Creations are called automatons, and they can be activated by winding
Okay.
them up. They can unleash powerful effects that differentiate them from echoes.
That's so cool. The music is so cool too. The music notes kind of reminds me of any Fire Emblem fans here, kind of reminds me of Dorothea's I think like special, when you like press A and she has like a lot of song notes that come out and then enemies will get hit by them. Kind of reminds me of that. That's from Fire Emblem Three Hopes, not Three Houses.
But be careful, they'll break apart if they take too much damage.
Okay, so this is like, oh, so that's the Y function. Okay, so that's what you do when you want to press Y is here. I'll rewind for you guys. So you could kind of see up here. Here, I'll kind of, actually you guys can see it. So you guys see in the top right corner there, that is the automaton. So that's like the little robot that Dante could build for Zelda. So that's kind of like the second mode of defense or offense. Which again, I kind of feel like there's too much freedom here. It's like, oh, you can use robots, or you can use a sword, or you can try your best not to use any echoes or only use echoes. Then again, I guess this is the whole point of the game, is to have so many options that like once you beat this game once, you're like, okay, well now I want to play the game all over again. But like me, I'm like what I do for my Tears of the Kingdom stream, which by the way I'll link to that here, where I'm not using a paraglider. You know, I guess you could do something like that in this game, where you could play it all over again, and then you could just do echoes only, you know, and not use the automatons or the sword. So I guess there's certain things that maybe can work. But anyway, let's keep on watching.
They take too much
We're already
damage.
20 minutes in, so I gotta wrap this up. I don't want this to be more than
You'll
25.
meet many other quirky characters during your travels, and
Here,
there's
I
no
kind of
doubt
want to go
that
over this
you'll meet
really
many other
quick.
quirky characters
Okay.
during
Nobody else. That guy I thought was
Your
Tingle,
travels.
unfortunately not.
And there's no doubt that
Okay, so Gerudo people. These are new Gerudo
be a
characters.
great help.
This little Goron kind of reminds me of the guy from, what's it called? Link Between Worlds, where there's a sage that looks like a Goron, but he's actually part Hylian, like as if he's a Goron Hylian hybrid, or just a very like buff Hylian that just looks like a Goron a little bit. And this guy, I feel like his mustache and his hair kind of reminds me of him. Here, I'll probably put an image up, but like he's the Goron fire rock sage from Link Between Worlds. So that's really
To the
interesting.
princess.
Cats are cool. Fairies are cool. Okay, whoa. That kind of reminds me, seeing the little choo-choo there, right here, and it's seeing him like all like dark, kind of reminds me of like Zelda 2 when you run into enemies. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so you're fighting in Hyrule Castle Town, so clearly the Rift World or the Still World does get worse over time. Okay, so this is very interesting. We're 23 minutes in. Everything else is stuff we've seen. Multiple worlds, snow, lava, climbing up sideways, hiding in pots.
On a journey to
What is this? Hold on, let's kind of go back. Okay, so we have a toad that's singing. That kind of reminds me of the singing frog. Isn't he blue in Majora's Mask, or is he green? I forgot. And clearly this little choo-choo, water choo-choo, is about to
on
burst.
a journey to
Oh wait, there's something that kind of was in that last frame there. Where was it? Did I pass it? Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Okay, this trailer is just going by too fast then. Okay. There's something in the bottom right corner. Okay, you guys can't see it.
on
Okay, it's just an interesting mushroom. Here, I'll take myself away so you guys can see it. Whoa. Okay, my bad. Okay. I'll take myself away. So you guys can, oh wait, actually you guys can see it. It's right, it's like kind of right here. So that's interesting, but no, I don't really think there's anything more to it than that. Cool.
On a journey to traverse and save.
Oh, you just caught a fairy just by jumping into it. Okay. That's cool. Oh, look, a little crab robot. So if you guys are looking in the top right corner, another automaton that Dompe can make is a crab, some sort of crab robot. I think we actually saw that earlier in the first or second trailer. But that's cool. They have horse mini games. So maybe they specifically set up a course and then it's like a horse race. That's pretty cool. And dude, I love how Tri looks. It looks like a Luma. It looks like a Luma is following you, like I'm playing Mario Galaxy. Again, Mario Galaxy.
Princess Zelda's wisdom is key.
Okay, so now here's the biggest thing, I think, for me, especially when it comes to theory crafting. I know we're already at 26 minutes. I apologize, guys, if this is too long. Oh, that's really cool with the trampoline right there. On kind of like in the right middle there. You see where Zelda is, just kind of take like 10 steps to the right, and that's where the trampoline is. But anyway, Volvagia looks very interesting, really looks like it's self from Ocarina of Time, like almost one-to-one, which increases my theory even more of Volvagia kind of like showing that there's more Ocarina of Time connections here. And if there's more Ocarina of Time connections, then this game is more closely like associated, or at least in close proximity to Ocarina of Time, not only when it comes to timeline placement, but also in themes and motifs, which makes me think that could we have, and I go over this in my new Downfall timeline video, could we have a parallel timeline to Ocarina of Time, or rather, is this like an alternate outcome from Ocarina of Time? That then, or is this just what happens after, like, let's say in the Downfall timeline, Link never defeated Volvagia, so it lived on into the events of before Link to the Past, and this game takes place before Link to the Past. So there's a lot of cool things we can draw from this, but that's kind of the theories that I'm going to leave with you guys for today. But like I said, please check out that new Downfall timeline theory video that I made. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really think there's anything else we could go over. We're almost 30 freaking minutes in this. Nothing new added. We'll go over how crazy Link looks in a second.
Available September 26th only on the Nintendo Switch system. Pre-orders are available
only on Nintendo Switch. Switch 2 ain't coming out anytime soon, guys. Definitely not this year. Okay, so Link is holding his sword from before. This is also a different area, but Link is not invisible. He's not made out of stone. So Link, this is Link, and he's bad. Link is bad this time around, which is very cool. I just thought he'd vanish, but yeah, he's bad. And he's holding the same sword, actually. Oh, you know what? You know what I think? Once you defeat him, you then get his sword. I'm starting to think that's what happens here. And then you get that sword ability. So you have to beat him with his sword first, with the echoes, in order to unlock the ability to use the sword, which also makes it more fair. Alright, anything else interesting? Okay, no. Well, he's clearly about to hurt Zelda, so I don't know what Zelda is doing to protect herself. I'm assuming Tri probably saved her. And that's it. And we are less than 30 minutes. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad this video is less than 30 minutes. That was a crazy analysis. I literally did it off the spot, on the spot. Thank you guys so much for freaking watching this. Man, I had a lot of fun. I didn't even take any notes. This is raw. This is truly me. No scripted, no nothing. So yeah, guys, I'm really excited for this game. I'm gonna have to make changes to my upcoming video. So on Echoes of Wisdom, I'm gonna make one more video on it other than this one. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Peace out. God bless. This is Skylink Theory. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.